My name is Mike Collier, and I'm running against Dan Patrick for Texas Lieutenant Governor. All right. I know we're not supposed to applaud, but I think since I'm running against Dan Patrick, we ought to be able to applaud, right?
Yep.
Dan Patrick's the worst lieutenant governor in the history of the state, as I'll prove here in just a second. But first, by way of background, I ran for comptroller in 2014. I met many of you then. Before that, I'd been just an ordinary CPA, but I got angry. I got very angry when the state fired 11,500 teachers a few years ago on the basis of a bad forecast. And I decided right then and there that I was going to have to run. I make my living as an accountant, and I just want Dan Patrick to know that I am his worst nightmare. I'm a Democrat and an auditor. I get lied to for a living. Dan Patrick's full of hooey. Now let's talk a little bit about public education, shall we? I'm in this because of public education. I'm passionate about public education. And Dan Patrick is hostile to public education. Do you agree with that? He's well known to be hostile to public education. If you see what he did with funding, if you see what he did with retired teachers, if there are any retired teachers here in the room, he's hostile to public education, and he's in trouble. Dan Patrick's in trouble because the teachers want him out. And there's enough teachers and public educators that they'll get him out. And he knows he's in trouble, and he's running TV commercials. Now listen to this. He's running TV commercials right now where he's telling Texans that he fought for a $10,000 raise for teachers, and that's hooey. There is no truth to that whatsoever. The truth is that he blocked education funding expansion brought to him by his own party. Dan Patrick, you can't lie any bigger than that. You see, Dan Patrick has got to go, and that's why we've got to take him down. The other thing I'd like to say about Dan Patrick, and this is particularly acute here in Austin, is property taxes. Property taxes keep going up. Every time Dan Patrick gets elected, property taxes go up. Property taxes are too high, and there's a lot we need to do in this state. We need to educate our young people. We're concerned about health care. We need more money for health care, child protective services, women's health. Do you realize the fact that we've underfunded women's health? Women are dying as a result of this policy. There's so much more that we need to do in this state to make it a great state. And we can't ask homeowners to pay any more property taxes because they're too high. And so I'm going to shock you, and I'm going to shock Dan Patrick and the rest. I'm an accountant. I know where all the bodies are buried. I know why property taxes are too high, and it's not your local school district. It's not your county judge. It's not your city mayor. The reason why property taxes are so high is because the state is not doing its job, and they're pulling resources away, particularly from schools. Now, I'd like for you to go, if you will, to my website, collierfortexas.com, and you'll see a report there called The Great Texas Property Tax Swindle, where I show you, between 2010 and 2017, why it is that property taxes are so high and why we don't have enough money for public education. And that's where we need to take this. You know, I come from the business community, and I'm proud to be pro-business, but I am progressive pro-business, as every pro-business person ought to be. And I firmly believe that we can live in a state that's good for business and creates good-paying jobs, and is at the same time a great state. And that's why I'm running. My name is Mike Collier, running for Lieutenant Governor. I'm asking for your support, and if I'm honored with the nomination, I'll beat Dan Patrick. Thank you very much.